the original two actors you were thinking of and asked, they passed, and then...
And I'll never name who those guys are. They knew who they are.
Yeah.
They know who they are.
No one needs to die tonight. You have 30 minutes to get out of that house.
What a ride this film was.
Great.
Honestly.
I'm glad you liked it.
At no point did I really know who was responsible for what.
Good.
So
that's the goal, right?
Yeah,
until we decide to tell you, that's the goal, you know?
Exactly. So, I mean, awesome job there.
Thank you.
And I was really surprised by how many elements of the film I think even towed the line of horror, I would say, with the way some of the
it's interesting. I've heard this before. Like it is a bit of a haunted house movie. It kind of is, right?
Yeah. And I would love to know how intentional is that, and when you're choosing these shots, because like Steven and Matt in the street.
Yeah.
The street lights alone, and then when Ben comes out
popping
there,
on. Yeah.
I was like clutching my
scared.
fur. I was like, yeah.
Right. And then Ben going into the
yes, with the shadow.
House with the shadows, right? It's like, I think that like it certainly has elements of horror. And I've said this before, it's like, but the ultimate kind of villain or bad guy or ghost is the money. Right, the money is the thing haunting the whole thing. So, it's certainly with the way the lights and the shadows and the way we kind of that interplay. There are horror elements. There are also very film noir elements. So I think they would intersect at times.
Yeah. So, would you say then your intention to shoot the scene that way is to really? Is it to toe the line, or are you just like, this is fun? This is what I like.
It's fun, and it's fun, and I think it also it's spooky because it becomes who's out there. Who's out there and who means to do us harm, and that has absolutely the elements of horror. When Ben says in the street, "I think we're going to get hit," and remember these cops are pulling away, the lights are off. It's all very creepy. It's creepy.
It is.
So I think that's a good. No, I think that absolutely toes the line up to that, and I'm glad that you felt that way because it's supposed to scare you. It's supposed to make you unsettled, which is what a good horror film will do.
Yes, absolutely. Unsettled is the right word.
Yeah.
And I heard, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but the original two actors you were thinking of and asked, they passed, and then
we haven't talked a lot about this, but yes, because I developed it, and it was like one of those situations where it happened. I took it as kind of a lack of faith in the project or whatever, and Danny Bernfeld, who's a dear friend of mine at AE, she goes, I want to see it before you do anything else. Give it to me for 48 hours, and it was just bang bang, and it was amazing, you know. And I'll never name who those guys are. They knew who they are.
Yeah,
they know who they are.
That, but can you talk to me about like bringing then Matt and Ben into the fold, and then having it, now here we are now, and it's this huge thing with seeing this friendship.
Yeah. Well, also, Shadi, what's interesting about it is like the movie's toying with both their history as childhood friends and their history as movie stars. You're messing with both those things at times, and you're manipulating those things to use an audience's expectations against him. Like, well, Jason Bourne can't be a bad guy. Batman can't be a bad guy, right? And yet, there are moments in that movie you feel such the weight of their love and respect for one another. Yeah. It's that much more heartbreaking when you think, oh, one of them's dirty. One of them's doing something, how could they do this? It's Matt and Ben, So we absolutely took advantage of that. And I think we did it in a way that makes a lot of sense. And I think it's that much more satisfying when you realize, okay, this other thing was, you know what I mean? That's what gives the movie its kind of final little push.
Yeah, and having that friendship there together, I imagine there's a lot of room for maybe improv or things unexpected to happen. Is there anything serendipitous?
They were just, no. You know what? It's like because they were so helpful with me and kind of sticking to the script. But then there would be moments of just like, they try something out. I go, I love that. And it's funny because it's like one of the things that wasn't Matt and Ben was Matt and Steve Yeun. Like there was a 1.5-page scene at the end of that movie that became him saying, Mike, stop. That was it. And that was really wild. I remember being there, standing there. We're on set. I mean, people were trying to get the scene going. We spent 40 minutes just talking about what all that meant, and it was remarkable. It was one of the great moments I've ever had on set. Yeah. It was really special.
Yeah, it was a great scene.
Yeah.
A great scene. And before I let you go, we're in a time right now where trust in law enforcement is like a touchy issue. This movie revolves a lot around trust within law enforcement, law enforcement and community. What do you hope viewers just see when they see this film?
Listen, I want viewers to understand that the conflation of law enforcement and ICE is not. ICE are criminal goons that have no business being on the streets. And I don't want people to think that this is in any way associated with or tied in or adjacent to ICE, I think those guys are outlaws and they should all be put in jail. I just do. I think what they're doing is absolutely unlawful and unconstitutional. But what I want people to understand is, like, listen, I've had the good fortune in my life of knowing remarkable men and women in law enforcement, and they're extraordinary, exemplary people. And I don't want on the other side of the dirty cop or the bad cop or whatever, that it just taints the entire thing. It's not fair. It's not fair to the people that are actually out there. As Catalina says in the movie, I'm a sandbag between you and anarchy, and that's what a lot of the ones I know. That's how they feel.
You should just take whatever money you want and walk away before this goes really bad for all of us.